So what exactly are the symptoms of leaky gut? There's so many symptoms associated with leaky gut because of its effect on our immunity, inflammation, and nutrient absorption. First of all, if the gut lining isn't intact, we're not getting all the nutrients from our food or from our supplements. I call it expensive poop and pee. We might be taking all these supplements, eating healthy food, but we're not really absorbing it. And we can often be absorbing things that shouldn't get in. So, in the gastrointestinal tract, some of the symptoms include gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, reflux. We can also have more chronic diseases like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, colitis, celiac disease. The list goes on in the GI tract. Just about every GI disorder has some sort of leaky gut associated with it. In our immune system, we'll see chronic infections, allergies, sinusitis, asthma, getting sick frequently, colds and flus, allergies to environmental things. In the skin is an organ of elimination. So if our body can't absorb nutrients and eliminate toxins properly, often those toxins are eliminated through the skin. In the skin, we can see rashes, allergies, eczema, hives, psoriasis, acne. Those can be our skin issues. We also can see vaginal symptoms because the lining of the vagina is the same as the gut lining. So you can get frequent vaginal infections, candida overgrowth, BV. You can get outbreaks of viruses that are lying dormant like HPV and herpes. And you can get vaginal atrophy and dryness of the vaginal lining. You can also see urinary tract symptoms, frequent UTIs, cystitis, even kidney infections. Another symptom associated with the gut can be neurological things because, as you know, and we talked about before, so many of our neurotransmitters are produced in the lining of the gut. And things like serotonin, dopamine, GABA, it's very important. We can also see hormonal imbalances. There's so many hormones that have to be detoxed through the lining of the gut. And if the lining of the gut isn't intact, a lot of those hormones can stay in our system too long and compromise our endocrine system. And then one of the most important things we see with leaky gut syndrome is autoimmune disease. The gut lining absorbs nutrients and prevents toxins from getting in. If that lining is hyperpermeable, undigested food, toxins, infections make their way into the bloodstream. Once they get into the bloodstream, our army comes across them and sees them as a foreign invader and creates an allergy or an immune response to try to get rid of that invader. When the army goes to war against the invader, if that continues on long enough, eventually the army can start to attack its own tissue. And so I believe that many autoimmune diseases are initiated by having a leaky gut as well as too many exposures to toxins and infections. And that causes different autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's if it's attacking the thyroid, diabetes is an autoimmune disease, migraines, eczema, psoriasis, lupus, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, and the list goes on. There's so many autoimmune diseases, and I believe that you always have to fix the gut when somebody has autoimmunity. There's also a lot of systemic symptoms, chronic fatigue, swelling, weight gain related to bloating. And why does that happen? When our body is toxic because there's too many allergens and toxins getting in, we retain water as a way of diluting toxin. So a lot of times when people have leaky gut, they're more swollen and inflamed and retaining a lot of water. So chronic fatigue, swelling, depression, anxiety, and just not feeling yourself. The lining of the gut is so important. It's so important that we make sure that that lining's intact. And as you can see, there's so many symptoms associated with leaky gut. And you can see now why I think it's so important to start with getting the foundation of the gut intact before you do anything else in your health. In the next video, we're going to talk about ways that you can actually repair leaky gut. So stay tuned.